Hello everyone, welcome to another video. Okay, today we are taking a first look at Signal. This is a new package created by Roddy Davis and it's a complete dot port of React Signals. So you can go ahead and look at it how it's done in the React world. But in simple terms, it's a way of expressing state that ensures apps stay fast regardless of how complex they get. It's based on reactive principles, okay, which means that when you do some effect, you want a reaction from maybe a function or whatever automatically. So it's more like observables. So you want your UI to react to some data change reactively. So, and you don't want to manually listen and stuff like that. So we're going to see how it is, and it looks pretty simple. All you've got to do is declare a signal and you listen to the value here. And anytime the signal's value change, this is right into the signal. So when you read, just read the value of the signal. And anytime it changes reactively, your UI is going to react based on that change, and you're going to see it. Okay, so let's go ahead. We've created a new project here, and we are going to look at it and then write a simple to-do app, which I call Signals to-do app. You can find the code on GitHub. I'm going to put it down in the description below. And it has a really nice documentation here. So let's open that up and let's post this a bit. Okay, so it's not new. They are known as signals or observables. I mentioned this, so we can read up on the observable pattern. Ooh. Okay, so maybe it needs to fix that. But it's a part of the and designed to be as close to the origin as possible. There's a lot of work that's gone into this, so really good work. But let's go ahead to install. We are going to do, if you want to use it on Dart, but in Flutter, you're gonna just do Flutter pub get. So let's go to our terminal and just do Flutter pub add signals. I think that's the command, and it's going to install. Nice. So it's installs. We don't have to configure our app or anything. Unlike Riverpod, that you have to go to the main and wrap your whole app in provider scope. But this is pretty simple. So let's go ahead and use it. And yeah, we go to Signal. So let's do the simple counter app that you know. So we can do final counter equals to signal. Make sure to use signal from Signals Flutter, which is what we want to use. We can set our initial value to be 0 here. And yeah, so when you want to add to the counter, we just do counter.value, and then we increment that. And here, when we increment our counter, we want to see the value react the UI to it. So here, I'm just going to wrap this in the builder, and then we remove this builder thing and replace the builder with watch. Easy peasy. And inside here, we can then watch for the counts. So we can do, you have pushed this button how many times? You can do counter times. So let's get rid of this const, and yep. And there you go. And you see, it works out of the box. Easy, simple. And we have our basic counter app working. Good. Okay. So it's simple. The function create a new signal. It just creates a signal. So anytime you add to the value, you are sending a hi to the signal, a value to the signal. Say, okay, you are sending a signal and telling the UI that a new value has changed. So change to the new value that has been signaled. So a signal is a container for a value that can change over time. You can read or subscribe to value updates by accessing the value property. So here we read value from signal. So here we just did counter. So let's say we do counter dot value. What happens then? Let's restart. Oh yeah, works as well. So yeah, you can use the value too. Okay, so let's go here. Let's create a simple to-do app. We're gonna add to the to-do and remove and set it to-do as complete, like you normally would in any tutorial. So here we can create a new UI and say to-do view.dart, and we can create a stateless widget and say to-do view. And it's a simple stateless widget, which we can just return a scaffold. Okay. And then in our UI, we can easily just, here we can have an app bar that says to do signals to do, like here. And then, okay, let's leave it here. So let's go into our folder a bit. And here I'm going to create a new folder called core. This is where our business logic goes, sort of. And in the core, we can have a folder called models. And here we can have a file called to-do store. So this will be a store for our to-do. And here we can create a model called to-do.dart. And inside here, we're just gonna create a to-do class. And yeah, so it's gonna be like this. You can see that Copilot sort of adds everything for me, which is great. And we can add required here, required there. Good. And let's mark this class as immutable. Good. So what we have done is just a simple to-do class that we can set it as complete, but by default, it's false. Right. So let's go into our to-do store and sort of create a to-do class right now. Okay, so yeah, so let's create a to-do store. And let's create a to-do. And we say to-do. And it's going to be, we create a list of to-dos here. So we say a list of to-do. So let's import to-do here. And there's a nice extension where you can set a list to signals. So it converts an existing list to a list signal. I think we can use mutable list also, but mutable list of signals. But for now, let's keep it simple. Yeah, we can add to it to do. So to do that value, and we'll mutate the data here and set it to this to do. remove to do. And the last one is we are marking the to do as completed. So like this. Do we need this? No. So let's get rid of these. Let's just make it to-dos. And update it like this. And let's rewrite this to-dos. Or we can actually just make it private. Let's see if it's gonna work. Or let's keep it simple. Yeah. Okay, let's keep it simple. We can always update it. Okay, so we have our store, which is a list of to-do, which is a signal. So anytime this to-do changes, our UI is going to react to that to-do. So let's create an instance of this our store. So let's say to-do store. Good. Now let's go back to our to-do view and put the UI in there. So we're gonna create a list. First, we're gonna do our watch. Watch is going to like this. If you don't need the context, you can just put an underscore there. Now we need to return. Let's return a list view. Good. So a list view, the children is to do in to-do store.todos.value. Remember, you have to do .value when you want to listen to the change on a signal. And remember that you have to watch it also. You wrap it in the watch. Let's look at the dog. And if you go here, to watch a signal for changes in Flutter, we use the watch widget. We only rebuild this widget method and not the entire widget tree. So when a to-do has changed, we put it under this watch so that we tell only this part that we want it to rebuild. And so it's not going to rebuild all the whole widget tree. Right. So let's save that. We still need to have a way that we can add a to-do. So down here, you can create a floating action bar. And yeah, we can add to the to-do here. So anytime we can do to-do.add and it's going to add a new to-do. Well, let's not do it that way. Let's actually navigate to a new screen that I'm going to create that is going to just add a to-do. So we're going to say navigator.off context.push is going to go to add to-do view. So let's go to the UI and quickly add to-do view dot right here. And it will be a stateless widget, add to-do view. Actually, it will be a stateful widget. And it's going to return a scaffold with add to do in there. And then we can create a column with all these text fields. So here we're going to create a controller, title controller. and description controller, and we pass the controllers right here. Let's remove this const, and the controller goes there, and it will be title controller. And here, let's go delete the const. Good. So now we can pop when we add the to-do. So it's going to be to-do store dot add a to-do, and we pass in the title, the description right here. Good. And let's wrap the column right here in a padding and give it some 20 so that we give it some space. And then we just add the to-do, import that. Okay, good. So I think we are done. Here we can then put the to-do view. And we have signals to-do app. So let's try to add something. A new to-do. And in description, we add. So we have a new to-do here. See, we have a list of to-do. As we are adding it, it reacts to our UI and gives us a new to-dos, which works great. Good. So you can see it's pretty easy to, yeah, it's pretty easy to just add stuff there. And here, when the to-do is complete, we just check. Actually, in the trailing, we just add delete there. Or let's leave it like this. If the to-do is completed, we put a check. Or no. I want to put an icon. In the trailing, I want to put an icon button so that we will test icons.delete. So to-do store.delete remove to-do. So when we remove the to-do, why is it showing a check right here? The trailing, okay, yeah, it's fine. It's looking good. So when we tap it, we are going to mark it as complete. Let's remove on long press. Here we can change the style. So when it is complete, it's going to be a line through. Good. That's what we want. So when we tap on it, it means that we want to mark it as complete. So say you're marking it as complete, you can delete. Good. Works fine. Okay. So yeah, that's easy. Now the next one I looked at was the computed right here. So data is often derived from other pieces of data. So the compute function lets you combine values of multiple signals into a new signal that can be reacted to, or even used another computer. So you can add multiple computers together, computed together to form a single computer, which makes sense. And when the signal, okay, so let's test that theory out. It's practical right now, not theory. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I want to combine two signals together, but we only have one signal. So what am I going to do? Okay, so let's say we want to dynamically change the name here. And we can say the name is equals to We'll create a new signal and say the name is Signals Todo App. Right. We can then wrap this body in a column, I guess. But we're just gonna set this shrink wrap to true. And right here, we're going to add a watch there. But we are going to create a header that will have a compute function, right? And it will be computed, which is a read-only signal, the same that you saw in the documentation there. So we want to combine two signals together. So I am going to say that the name.value has, the length of the to-dos, has how many to-dos there. Okay, in the center here, we're just gonna pass in the header dot value. You see header here dot value. That's the value of the computed actually. So we say that, you see signal to do has app has to do. So what if we want to change the value of the name, this name signals to do? That means we can then add a text field right here. And let's get rid of the container. And then I can do an onChange, which I have the value. Yes, so I'll set the value of the onChange. Anytime I change it, it's going to get updated. So let's put some padding around it. Good, we have the name. So in this header, we're gonna have header.value too, right? No, not header.value, it will be name.value. That's the name of the app. Okay, so yeah. So we are able to use our compute function, computed, right here, which combines two signals. So this is the signal we have here and the signal from our to-do store, right? And gives a new value based on that. So it makes a lot of sense because oftentimes you're going to have data in multiple places that you want to combine. So you see signal has 3. So the name of the app is To-Do App. You can see it changes here. So there's a reason this app bar doesn't change. It's because we are not putting it in a watch. So let's get rid of this builder and just replace this builder with a watch. Okay, so you see. And when we update this, you see it does. Yay! So that's a Signal app for you. So yeah, let me know what you think about this state management solution. It's pretty easy, straightforward, really good stuff. And let me know if you are going to play around with it and use it in your projects in the description. Thank you for watching this video. Make sure to like, subscribe, and I see you in the next one.